Welcome to our STAAR Prep session for Tuesday. All right, so just a quick refresher on what we did yesterday. This was about asking questions while we read, because good readers do that. We looked at the title and we found out that the passage was about a little girl that had forgotten her math book at home, and so she couldn't do her work. We eliminated answers that didn't make sense, and we proved our work up here within our little passage. So today we're going to kind of move on, and we're going to move on to our new passage. It's a little bit longer because this is practice that eventually you will be doing on your own. But Miss Drury's moving very slowly into that so that I get the best work that I possibly can from you. So the name of this passage, we always kind of look at the title first, is called Oliver Goes to the Mall. So I kind of scan the passage and I start to notice these little things right here. And I notice that those are they're called quotation marks. That means that there's talking inside of the piece of text. So I notice a bunch of these, so I automatically think this is probably going to be a fiction story, because a lot of times when they have talking or dialogue, it's because it is a fiction story. So I'm just going to put my little, what I think will happen, or some sort of prediction or whatever, but I do think that it's going to be fiction because of me skimming it. Notice I didn't read it. And then I also think that something might go wrong. I don't know. I may be totally wrong. Get it? But I may be right too, and that's okay. It's okay for your predictions to be wrong, as long as they sort of make sense with what you're reading. So if I would have said he's gonna, feed an elephant, I don't know, that might be kind of weird. But anyway, let's move on. So after that, I'm going to go and I'm going to answer the question. So the only question that I'm going to focus on today is number 1. That's my Tuesday question. Okay, so we can just break it up into little bits. So it says, which is the best question to ask yourself as you read? So as we're reading, we're going to read through the passage, and we are going to try and figure out what question throughout this entire passage would be the best. So I'm not going to read the answer choices yet, but I am going to go through and read the passage. That way we can kind of figure out, based off of what we read, which one of these makes the most sense on number 1. So here we go. Oliver goes to the mall, and I may stop every once in a while to check my understanding. Oliver and his father went to the mall on Saturday. Oliver needed new clothes for school. Oh, okay, he needs new clothes for school. The mall was very crowded. Remember what to do if you get lost, Dad said. If you don't see me, go to the man behind the front desk. He wears a uniform. He finds people who are lost. Oliver and his father bought some t-shirts. They also bought a new book bag. Next, they looked for sneakers. Oliver sat down while his father walked over to the rows of sneakers against the wall. Oliver's father was gone for a long time. Finally, Oliver got tired of waiting, so he got up and walked around. Ugh. He looked at the different shoes. Then suddenly he could not see his father any longer. There were so many shoppers that Oliver kept bumping into people. So all this part, guess what happened? What happened to him? What's going to happen? I'm going to write mine and you think of it. Did you think of this? He's going to be lost. They give you clues up here. The dad saying, What happens if you get lost? Then it gets crowded. It says that it's crowded. There's all these things that they give us this clue. Look at my prediction. Something may go wrong. Do you think it's going to be right? Okay, let's check. It says, then Oliver remembered what his father had said. So he went to the front desk for help. My father got lost, Oliver told the guard. Okay. The guard smiled and asked his name. Then the guard said over the loudspeaker, will Oliver's father please come to the front desk? Soon Oliver's father arrived. Oliver was glad to see him. So he actually did something kind of funny. Who was the one that really actually got lost? Was it Oliver or his father? Who wandered off? Okay, so Oliver should have probably sat down and stayed with his dad, or stayed where he was supposed to. That way when his dad came back, he would be there, but he wasn't. He wandered around. So he wandered and then got found. Basically, because he did what he was supposed to. I mean, at least that he did that, right? Okay, so now what question could we ask through this entire story? Let's look and see if we can find the answer. Okay, which is the best question to ask yourself as you read? How can people find each other if they are lost? Okay, is there a clue word in there that talks about what happened in the story? Can you tell me? Okay, if you said lost or even find, those are all good. Those happened both in that story. So I'm going to question mark that one. Put just a little question mark. Why do people shop at the mall? Is that what we're talking about on here? I don't think so. They don't really talk about why. I mean, we know why, right? Where did they find the t-shirts? Okay. T-shirts, yeah, no. Doesn't even make sense. That one is an awful answer. And then what kind of book bag did Oliver get? Is that what this is about? Or are we talking about a book bag in the other passage just for a little bit? Okay, no. Book bag, real terrible answer. B is eliminated. C eliminated. D eliminated. The only one that makes the most sense for us to ask throughout the passage is how can people find each other if they get lost? So I'm going to circle that. I hope you kind of heard my thinking. I'm glad you helped me out. And look forward to talking to you guys about our STAAR question for tomorrow. Have a great day.